Greetings, greetings. What's up, everybody? Greetings. It's your girl, Pashay Gibson, also known as Sister Shay in the poetry world, also known as Shay Butter, broadcasting live. It's your girl, right? So I'm so glad to be here. I am back for another show. Hey. All right. So today's going to be a little bit different, but I want you to ride it out with me. Today is December 29th. It is Kwanzaa. So I am going to say to you, Habari Gani, and you respond, your response would be UJAMAA. So Habari Gani, UJAMAA. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Kwanzaa today. And I'm so excited to do this show because this is going to be a little bit different. Because I am paying homage to someone who I truly, truly, truly love. She's like my second mommy. Her name is Nanzamo Iyanu, and her husband, my Baba Baye Iyanu. And the reason why is because she and Baye, along with some other fabulous people, phenomenal, beautiful, African-centered people, came together and formed a group called the Africentric Focus Mayat Study Group. And these beautiful people like Dr. Umar Bey, Sister Tyra, I'm about to call out some names because I don't want to mess up anything. Dr. Tyra Marshall, Judge Lisa White, Judge Trudy. These are all the people that help facilitate, help organize, help donate. We've had some powerful people, Sister Evelyn, Dave Modesto. Shout out to Dave, because Dave would always, he did the advertising for us. We had Sister Agnes Andrews and Allstate, and her husband, Dr. Andrews, who allowed us to, have, our last 3 Kwanzaas in the TT Lane building. Shout out to Southern University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, issuing this thing all the way live. Yes. So because we've had this program for 30 years and Southern University housed majority of those years, and I'm so grateful, and I want to say thank you to them. But we had some phenomenal people that participated. We had a group that came in all the way from New Orleans that provided us with dance. It's so many people. I'm gonna try to go through it, but right now I'm just kind of like giving y'all a snapshot of what I'm getting ready to talk about, right? So, like I said, today is Kwanzaa, and it's the 29th day of Kwanzaa. And I am going to do some reading because the last 3 years, I'm so grateful for that I was the MC for the Kwanzaa program in Southern University when it was held in the TT Lane building. So I'm so grateful, and I thank you for trusting in me to help facilitate and help be a part of that. It was my honor. It was truly, truly, truly my honor to be a part of it and to be in a place of just being in a place of culture, and to be surrounded by so many of my people looking as gorgeous as they want to be, with this beautiful African attire from the crown of their head to the soles of their feet, and just really embracing the culture. And I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be a part. All right. Without further ado, I am going to tell you a little bit about Kwanzaa and some of the information. So just ride this out with me. We're doing this together. All right. So shout out to Nanzamo and Baye and the Mayat Afrocentric Focus Mayat Study Group. So let me tell you a little bit about Kwanzaa and the origin of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is an African American holiday celebrated from December 26th through January 1st. It is based on the agricultural celebrations of Africa called the First Fruit Celebration, which were times of harvest, ingathering, reverence, commemoration, recommitment, and celebration. Therefore, Kwanzaa is a time for ingathering of African Americans for celebration of their heritage and their achievements, reverence for the Creator and creation, commemoration of the past, recommitment to cultural ideals, and celebration of the goods. To achieve this, Kwanzaa focuses on fundamental collective values rooted in African culture and reflected in the best practice of African American people. Kwanzaa was created in 1966 by Dr. Mulana Karinga, Chair and Associate Professor, Department of Black Studies, California State University, Long Beach, author and scholar activist who stresses the indispensable need to preserve, continually revitalize, and promote African American culture. Finally, it is important to note that Kwanzaa is a cultural holiday, not a religious one, thus available to and practiced by all Africans of all religious faiths. That is the origin of Kwanzaa. So we're going to talk about the Ingu Saba. Now, the Ingu Saba are the 7 principles, which are the 7 days after Kwanzaa, after Christmas. I'm sorry, the 7 days after Christmas. So each day has a name and each day has a principle. So I'm going to read those to you. Emoja, unity. To strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. December 26th. Kujichagulia, self-determination. To define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. December 27th. UJAMAA, collective work and responsibility. To build and maintain our community together and make our sisters and brothers' problems our problems and to solve them together. December 28th. UJAMAA. Today, that's what today is. Cooperative economics. To build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses to profit from them together. December 29th. NIA. Purpose. To make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. December 30th. Kuumba. Creativity. To do always as much as we can in the way that we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. December 31st. Imani. Faith. To believe with all our heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. January 1st. That's the Ingu Saba, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. And like I said, today is UJAMAA, which is cooperative economics. And basically, what cooperative economics is supporting our brothers and sisters in business. And what we want to do, we want to stretch our dollar in our own community before it transitions to the Europeans. So what that means is if you have a business, small or large, we as consumers, we're supposed to patronize your business because we want to help your business grow, because helping your business to grow allows our community to grow, because we are now providing services for each other and we're supporting each other. That's how Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street, was built. And it was built on supporting one another so we can grow and we can profit from one another and continue to grow our neighborhoods and our community. I know things are really strange in this day and time, but it doesn't discount the fact that we have a mechanic that's down the street. We have a beautician that's around the corner. We have a homeschool facility, Black-owned homeschool facility. We have a Black artist that has a comic book. We have a person that's up and coming entrepreneur with her own Pache butter souffle product. So we have we have so many people in our communities that are doing some fantastic things. It's a Black spy in Baton Rouge. We got a Black homeschool in Baton Rouge. We have an up and coming artist with his own comic book that is also a poet that resides in the Baton Rouge area. So even though I'm specifically talking about Baton Rouge because this is where the group originated, in Baton Rouge, but I'm speaking about throughout the US, throughout the world. We must come together and support one another. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. We're talking about cooperative economics. So we want to grow our community and we want to support one another. That's how we grow our community. So, like I said, that's the 7 principles of Kwanzaa and what Kwanzaa is about. For the most part, we have it's so many things that goes into it. So I want to read this. This was it was an oath to our ancestors. This was something that we had in our program, and this was written by Dr. Ray Hagins, and it's called An Oath to Our Ancestors. So I'm going to read that to you because it was always powerful. We always had a group to read it, in the program, but I'm going to read it to you. O ancestors, blacker than 1,000 midnights, African ancestors, it is you that we, your children, give respect and honor. O ancestors, we call upon you and welcome you in this place. African ancestors, let your presence fill this place. O ancestors, we have been purposely excluded from history books so that the world would not know of your greatness. O African ancestors who gave civilization to the world. O African ancestors who gave the arts to the world. Our African ancestors who gave music to the world. Our African ancestors who gave science to the world. Our African ancestors who gave mathematics to the world. Our African ancestors who gave medicine to the world. Our African ancestors who gave literature to the world. Our African ancestors who gave philosophy to the world. Our African ancestors who gave God consciousness to the world. O ancestors, we thank you for devoting your life to make a future for us, your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Now stand with us, strengthen us, guide us, teach us, and protect us from the snare of our enemies. Rise up, O African ancestors, and let our enemies be scattered, and give us wisdom and the boldness to deal with our oppressors and those who would hinder the liberation and empowerment of our people. Rise up, O African ancestors, and live in us. We will not fail to honor you. We will not fail to respect you. We will not fail to hear you. And we will not betray you. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe-o. That's our oath to our ancestors, our oath to our ancestors, Dr. Ray Hagan. Woo! I miss y'all for Kwanzaa. And I could not let this day go by and not give Namzamo and Baye and the Africentric Focus Maya study groups their flowers. Namzamo, who retired this year in September, had been in business for 37 years in the Baton Rouge area, providing service, prestige service, pampered service in her boutique Nomzamo's African boutique, where a lot of everybody in the surrounding area got their beautiful African garments. A lot of one of a kind pieces that came from Ghana, that came from Nigeria. Our beautiful vendors that I'm saying our because I also worked in the shop that provided, beautiful pieces from artwork, clothing, jewelry, and just love. So even if you were having a bad day, we just had people just come in and just take in that energy from the soaps to the body oils to the jewelry. I mean, you came in there, you weren't gonna leave the same. Or if you had a question and Baye was in the building, oh, that's going to be a great dialogue right there. And I'm so grateful to the two of them for they saw that, you know, uh, the younger me was kind of hungry and thirsty for a little bit more knowledge pertaining to myself as a black woman, but I had a desire to learn more about my culture. And I'm grateful to Baye blessing me with books and Namzamo blessing me with audibles. I mean, I'm saying audibles, but it was CDs, of Iyanla Van Zant and books like Asada and Shay. I got so many books up here in my bookshelf. I'm pointing like y'all can see, but it's right there. That's one of my bookshelves, and the other one is over there with different books that was recommended. Even from the Mayat study group. The book study that would happen on Saturdays. Shout out to Tyra, who is a great facilitator. I have not been on there in a while. I do miss you guys. I will be back soon this year, right? So this coming year. So I just want to say that I love you, Namzamo, and I thank you for being such a good steward over the community. You and Baye having your back and being there, 10 toes down right there with you, along with, the whole study group. Brother Dave, who was responsible, Dave Modesto, who was responsible for getting the word out and helping put the program and everything together, him and Tyra, Sister Evelyn, Judge Trudy, Judge Lisa. You guys were amazing. It's just so many. I know I'm renaming everybody, but I am, because we held it down. I got a chance to come in a couple of times because I always lived away, but I got a chance to come catch a couple of them in between. About 3 or 4 in between, and then I got a chance to be the MC for the last 3. And we had some heavyweights. This just wasn't a program of just local people dancing and, no, it was not that. It was like being in a powerful history class full of like-minded people who desired and was hungry for that information just like you. And it was always packed. And people would, they will wait for it at the end of the year, to be a part of it, to wear your beautiful, even though we should wear our African clothing every single day. I got my Ankh hoodie on right now, but we should be able to not just celebrate it just 1 week out of the month or 1 month out of the year. We Black. 365 days is really 366, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. So but we supposed to be able to have that moment every day, not be afraid of the skin that we're in, not be afraid of the culture and the history that we hold. Let's not let it die. We have children and our children's children. They need to know. So it goes beyond just the shout out to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, but when you talk about our history, that's usually the go-to people, right? But it's so much more than that. And our history is 300,000 years strong. So that means it's beyond just a handful of people. We had a collective group of people that made this possible. So I'm going to read this really quick so you could kind of see where I'm going. The Africentric Focus Maya Study Group committee is committed to the study of the Black experience in its historical and current unfolding from the Afrocentric perspective. We strive to bring African-centered scholars and speakers to the Baton Rouge community. Let me tell you about some of the sponsors. Let me name some of the sponsors that we had in our past Kwanzaa celebrations. We're going to start with 2000. In 2000, we had Kalamu Yasalam. 2001, we had Dr. Charles S. Finch III. 2002, we had Dr. Anthony T. Broader, aka Tony Broader. We had in 2003, Marsha Sutherland. 2004, Dr. Lena James Myers. 2005, Chokwe Lumumba. 2006, Anthony T. Broader again. 2007, Mulamu K. Bumani Baruti. Yes, we did. 2008, James Small. 2009, Kevin Washington. 2010, Dr. Mulani Karinga, the founder of Kwanzaa. Yes, he was in the building and our keynote speaker for 2010. 2011, Dr. Wade Nobles. Yes. 2012, Dr. Beatrice Morales. 2013, Mulamu K. Bumani Baruti comes again. 2014, Dr. Ava Muhammad. 2015, Queen Afu. 2017, Dr. James Conyers. 2018, Dr. Kevin Washington Muwati Kairi. 2019, Dr. Runoko Rashidi. Yes, we had some heavyweights in the building. And I'm so excited that the last three, 2017, 2018, and 2019, I was the MC on deck. That's right. Me, your girl, Sister Shay Gibson, that's right, was on deck. And I'm so grateful and I'm so honored that you entrusted in me to be the MC, to help be a facilitator. I'm so grateful for that opportunity. And, in our celebration, we had so many people to participate, to be a part. We would always start our ceremony with the clearing of the way, which means we would come in with African drumming. We would have, we would light sage, to clear the way, to usher in positive energy and positive vibrations to begin our Kwanzaa celebration. And then we would pour a libation. We would have someone to help, facilitate that pour libation. We would do the pledge of oath to the ancestors, which I just read to you. We would sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. And we would have someone do the welcoming. Oh, I forgot. Give a shout out to Dr. Rackley, Dr. Reginald Rackley, who is a Southern University Arts and Humanities Psychology. He's over that department. Dr. Rackley, always in the building. And I'm so grateful, awesome. And then we would have the recognition of our elders and guests. We would have the Kwanzaa origin. We would have, someone do that. Our last Kwanzaa, we had the Mount Carmel Baptist Church, the Girl Scouts to do that. We would have a dedication, of people that may have transitioned on, and that would be when we will call out their names, as they transition, and we will call out the names of our ancestors or people that were close to us that we love, that have transitioned. So that would be that moment of dedication. We would have a cultural expression. We had the Nation of Islam karate organization to to this, to what am I trying to say? But they would do their karate, and I'm at a loss of words right now. I can't get my words together, but the dedication was so awesome when they would do it. So we would also have Kwanzaa symbols, and Indira Mirror Institute was always on deck. That was a school that I taught as a homeschool teacher. Shout out to my little people out there who participated. I thank y'all so much for allowing me to help facilitate that at the school. So thank you so much. Indira Mirror Institute, IMI. And then we will have the Ingu Saba and the lighting of the Mushu Saba, which are the 7 candles for Kwanzaa. And then we would have another cultural expression. We had a young brother. His name was Kareem Tinsley. He was a poet, spoken word artist, young guy. I remember when he first, when I first heard him, and I watched him grow, and he was always on deck and being there. So I'm giving him a shout out as well. Brother Daryl Muhammad, who would come in for cultural expressions. Nation of Islam came in and supported, and I'm so grateful to you guys for coming out and supporting us as well in the Baton Rouge area. Thank you. And then we will have the keynote speaker, whoever that person would be. This program that I'm holding was the late great, who he has now transitioned, Dr. Renoko Rashidi. We had him at our last Kwanzaa, and that's this program that I'm holding. He was the keynote speaker. We would have a presentation, and Dr. Umar Bey normally did the presentation, and then we had the explanations of the Zawadi. Zawadi will be the gifts that we would give the children. If we had some left over, the grown people had Zawadis too. So it's usually like a little hand drum, or could be an African fan, but we will always have Zawadis. If we had any announcements, I would make the announcements. We could never not finish out without Kumbuka, the dance troupe, all the way from New Orleans. They would come from New Orleans, and they would set the stage on fire, and that would be our closing dance. We would get the people out of the audience would get up and dance. It would be the women, then it would be the men, it'd be the kids, and then all of us. It was just a beautiful celebration. So shout out to the Kumbuka dance troupe out of New Orleans, Louisiana. We would have our farewell statement, and then we would return to our ancestors, return of our ancestors, and then we would do our Harambe, which would be the pulling down together. We would do 7 times Harambe, and then we would finish out with Asheo, and then we would have our feast, which would be, we had a couple of people who would cater that night and have a nice healthy meal, and just fellowship together. We had plenty of vendors that came from all the way from Lafayette, vendors who are artists, who had hair and skin products, who sold African clothing, books. We had a bookstore on deck. We had, oh my God, We Three Kings out of Baton Rouge, right there at Southern University. They will always show up, and I thank you guys, We Three Kings, for coming. They will bring their jewelry, their clothing, oils. It was phenomenal, one of a kind. We even had what was the brother's name? Irritated Genie came down and was a vendor. And that was phenomenal because he just so happened to have been a speaker at an event the following day. But, he came down to be a vendor. But, man, we had vendors come from Atlanta. So, like I said, I'm grateful to have been a part. And I just want to, like I said, give these beautiful people their flowers today. Not tomorrow, but today. And I just want to tell you, I love you. And I want to thank you for investing in me, planting seeds in me to allow me to know more about my culture, learn more about me, as a beautiful Black goddess that I am, I want to say thank you for dropping those gems and those nuggets. Trust me, I remember them all. And those books I hold dear to my heart. So I'm so grateful and I thank you. So before I close out, I do have a poem myself, and that I want to share before I leave today. Like I said, today is a different day, and I just wanted to celebrate Kwanzaa and just kind of give you a synopsis of what it was and how much it was the strength of bringing people together in the community, how much that meant to the people in surrounding areas of Baton Rouge when they came down for Kwanzaa. They left there different. They left there wanting to do the same thing. They left there saying, I will be back next year, and I'm bringing somebody with me when I come. And I thank you to every single person who came, who celebrated with us, who brought somebody with them, who also, sowed seeds to the vendors that were there as well. We thank you, because I was a vendor too. So I thank you for being there. All right, you guys, I'm closing out with a poem. It's called Dear Mother Africa. And this is my piece. You are beautiful, Mother Africa. Your carbon DNA makes us strong and resilient, brilliant like the diamonds shining ever so brightly. Over 300,000 years of existence, we have mastered the art of living, beautifully Black like the richness of your soils and the souls of your people. Because of you, our royal lineage is the pulse of freedom racing through our veins. Kings and queens of a stolen legacy. In spite of everything, we never lost our frequency. Our magic continues. Our strength remains. Our music plays on. And our creativity continues to live everywhere. We wear the crown of responsibility. We are artistically obligated to restore our beautiful mother's history. As Africans, we are custodians to our society. The restoration of our royalty relies on our carbon artistry. Music is sacred, and our creativity is magic. Dance is our rhythmic vibration, leaving footprints like life-size braille as we march to the Congo beat of victory. We love you, Mother Africa, and we pay homage to you and all of our ancestors. We thank you for birthing us and giving us life. We are eternally grateful to be your most prized possession, your most priceless resource. It is our rightful duty and responsibility to put you back into your divine place of healing. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. I thank you so much for tuning in today. I know today was a little different, but like I said, I didn't want to miss this year of Kwanzaa and not being able to celebrate somehow, some way, though Namzamo has retired, but Kwanzaa is still in us. So let's not forget. Let's not forget. All right? It's your girl, Pashay Gibson, aka Sister Shay in the poetry world, also known as Shay Butter, as an up-and-coming entrepreneur. And this is my channel, so please like, comment, share, and subscribe. All right. I thank you so much for tuning in today. I thank you. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. Thank you.